Hey everybody, it's Blondie again. I was just wanting to make a new little video. We're going to talk today about how to break in your high heel shoes. I know a lot of you out there, you love your shoes. You see the fictional characters like, you know, Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City, or other celebrities, and they make it look so easy. Well, we all know that it's not always that easy. You get a pair of shoes, you put it on, and it's too tight. It's uncomfortable. It just doesn't seem to fit your foot well. So for today, what we're going to do is we're going to give you just a few little instructions that might help you to break in your shoes and be more comfortable and more confident when you're wearing them. Okay, here we go. Probably the most important thing you need to do is when you buy a pair of shoes, don't always get stuck on the number. The number, you order a size 8. Well, in some brands, your foot might not fit into a size 8. It might take a size 9. Or maybe they run big and it takes a size 7.5. Always a good place to start is what you usually wear. From the measuring apparatus in the store, you measure your foot. Everybody knows what size they wear. But don't get stuck on that number. Don't get mad just because you get a pair of shoes and they're so snug you can't walk in them, and you tell the people, well, I wear a size 8. Well, different manufacturers, different styles fit differently. Every shoe fits every person really, really differently. And so we all need to remember that your size is just a number. So what if you have to order a size bigger? You don't have to tell anybody if it's that big a deal to you. So that's my first suggestion. Buy what you think fits. Now, if you get a shoe, and let's say it fits, your toe is not too close to the end of the shoe, it fits comfortably, but it's a little tight. A lot of shoes are like that when you first get them. So, my suggestion is first, get yourself a pair of tube socks. You know, we've all seen those. You know, you buy them at Walmart. They come in a bag. You get 8 or 10 pairs. You can always wear them with your tennis shoes later. But you put on that tube sock. Now, I know that trying to get your shoe on with that heavyweight tube sock is going to be a little tough the first time. And it's going to feel a little uncomfortable. But if you can wear that sock with that shoe for just, if you can do it for 10 minutes, do it while you're standing cooking dinner, you know, clean house in them, who cares? Anyway, don't plan on going out in them. Socks and high heels just don't look good together. Anyway, so we get back to that. So do that for about a week. That's going to get them stretched just a little bit. Whether it be leather or the PU, which is what a lot of the shoes are made of, which is basically polyurethane, made to look like leather. It's plastic. Keeps the shoes less expensive. But no matter what they're made of, all shoes are going to stretch a little. So, after you've done that, now you can always take and you can wear them longer. If you think you can wear them longer and you're okay, then take them off, take your sock off, and put it in the dirty clothes. Okay, so now the next step, get a thin pair of socks, something more like, let's say, some cotton type socks that maybe you'd wear in the summer. It's going to almost be like a thick hosiery type item. You can always wear that with your shoes. That won't stretch them as much, but it will help in rubbing off on the inside of the shoes. Sometimes there may be a seam or a little place like a little peel ball, And when you're walking in them, it's going to rub. Well, those socks are going to help rub off any of those little places that could be on the inside of the shoes, and will make them more comfortable. Now, another method that you can use is take those same cotton socks, get them wet, wring them out. Just have them just slightly damp. Put them on and wear them with your shoes. Do it for about 30 minutes a day. For a few days. In between, set your shoes someplace where they can dry out. You'll find out that in just a few days, those shoes are going to stretch. They're going to form to your feet. Once they form to your feet, they're going to be a whole lot more comfortable. Now, if for some reason those methods don't work, you can always take them to a shoe shop. There are things that are shoe stretchers that the cobblers will use occasionally for an inexpensive pair of shoes. I'm not sure that it would be worth paying the expense to have him do that. But some people, I'd go with the sock method. That's kind of what I do myself. Anyway, so then the next step. Let's say that, maybe the shoes feel comfortable as far as the upper part of your feet, but maybe the heels hurt. You know, when you stand on them for any length of time. You can always buy the insoles, like the gel insoles. Give a plug to Dr. Scholl's, because I tell you, I've kept him in business over the years. Or you can buy the little foot pedals. They're shaped about like this. You just slide them in, put them right in the ball of your foot. That will help take some of the stress from your weight being up on the balls of your feet. That's always a good way to get the inner part of the shoe. Another good thing that will do, either the insoles or the pedals, or sometimes they're called halters. If you do either of those are going to also help you in the stretching of your shoe, because they're going to make your shoe fit a little snugger. And I think that's probably a good thing for a lot of us. I have very narrow feet, so I make a lot of use of the insoles and the halters in my shoes just to make them more comfortable. Another way that you want to make sure that when you're out in your shoes, that especially if they're new, you don't slip. The bottom of a lot of the shoes come very slick. I mean, it's just like the runway itself. And if you hit a wet spot on the floor, anything like that, you're going down. One of my suggestions, well, there's a couple. You can actually take a piece of just lightly grit sandpaper that your husband or your boyfriend or your dad, somebody may have, and just rub it on the bottom of that. Scuff up the where the ball of the foot is, scuff that up real good. Just get the slickness off of it. Another little trick, if you don't have any sandpaper, go outside and stand on the sidewalk and do the twist. Drag your feet, I don't know, just scuff them up on the sidewalk. That's another way you can do it. Or there's one third way. You can buy, it's called non-slips. You can buy them at most dancewear, clubwear shops, and they're not very expensive. They stick right to the bottom of your shoe. And for my customers or anyone out there that are entertainers, they know that this is a way to keep them from slipping on those slick stages or the runway of your model. They're not quite as attractive, but who's going to see the very bottoms of your shoes after all? So, my last little tip for you when you're dealing with brand new shoes. Let's say you've gone through the procedure, you broke them all in, they're comfortable, but you get out and maybe, you're just not used to them. Most of us girls, we don't wear a pair of brand new shoes and go to a dance where we're going to have to stand up for 8 hours. If you do that, take another pair of shoes that are more comfortable for you, because that's a very difficult thing to do. I've done that myself. But for the most part, if you've got your shoes broken in, if you've worn them, buy like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time so you have plenty of time to do all of these steps I'm telling you about. There is one thing that I can tell you that I have found, and that who would ever have figured this one out. I know when I wear my shoes, and maybe it's a brand new pair, and even though I've broken them in a little bit, I haven't taken the time, I bought them last minute. So what I've done, all of a sudden I realize I'm getting a big old blister. I can feel it rubbing. I have no Band-Aids, but I remember there's a drugstore down at the corner, or perhaps the manager of the place where you're at could help you. You go to the drugstore, buy you a roll of surgical tape, just the kind of tape that you would use to tape a bandage on. Buy the clear, of course, and you can actually put that over where the shoe's rubbing. The shoe won't rub anymore, you won't get a blister, and you still got a big old long roll of tape that you can use for the next time. Put it in your car, put it in your purse. Believe me, it is the best trick I've ever found. Now, I can tell you this, there has been a couple circumstances where I couldn't get to a drugstore to buy some surgical tape. So what I did, it just happened to be that I was at a place where they actually did shipping, you know, like packaging products to be shipped, and they had packing tape. And a lot of you may have packing tape around the house, you know, from maybe where you've moved from house to house or apartment to apartment. You could actually take a piece of that. Now, it doesn't stick as well as the surgical tape, but it will still work the same way. Now, in my opinion, the tape works better than Band-Aids, because the Band-Aids tend to roll up, and I know there's been a few times I've forgotten the tape was there and gone to take a shower the next day, and I'm washing my feet, and there you go, I've got tape coming off in the shower. Anyway, so that's my last tip for you. I hope that this will help you a little bit breaking your new shoes. I hope you're happy with every pair of shoes you get, like I am. I love my high heel shoes. I'm going to wear them until they tell me I can't. So every time I come across a new little tip, I'm going to let you know about it. My name is Blondie. I'm with SuperSexyHighHeels.com. That's www.SuperSexyHighHeels.com. Blondie's gone.